the Democrat mayor of New York is now being indicted by the federal government. The federal charges are being brought against him for corruption. Is that really the charge that Eric Adams is facing? Is that really why they're attacking Eric Adams? Is it that he's corrupt, that he received donations from Turkey in exchange for a consulate to be approved in New York City? That's what they claim. That's what these unsealed indictments that are coming later today are going to show. But is that really the reason? Or are they weaponizing the government against him because of his stance on immigration? Here's what Eric Adams had to say yesterday when he found out that it was inevitable that federal charges brought by the federal government under the control of Joe Biden and the Democrats, Merrick Garland and the DOJ, the FBI, and we all know their racket. When he found out that these charges were going to be brought against him, here's the statement he released.
My fellow New Yorkers, it is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes. If so, these charges will be entirely false, based on lies. But they would not be surprising. I always knew that if I stood my ground for all of you, that I would be a target. And a target I became. For months, leaks and rumors have been aimed at me in an attempt to undermine my credibility and paint me as guilty. Just this past week, they searched the home of our new police commissioner, looking for documents from 20 years ago, just 1 week after he joined my administration. Enough. I will fight these injustices with every ounce of my strength and my spirit.
All right, there you go. So that's Eric Adams, and he's saying, look, enough is enough. I'm innocent. I'm fighting these charges. This is ridiculous. And a lot of people are now questioning, why is it that the star of the Democrat Party, Eric Adams, who, look, we knew de Blasio was horrible. He was one of the worst mayors ever. People in New York hated him. All he did was pander to the LGBTQ community. He pandered to Black Lives Matter. He was a laughing stock. How this guy ever got elected mayor, I don't know what the people of the great city of New York were ever thinking, but maybe they weren't. Maybe they brought in all those weed trucks. Maybe they had too many edibles and they weren't really thinking straight when they voted for Bill de Blasio. But they brought in Eric Adams, and here he is, and he's this rough and tough, rough and tumble, gritty African American mayor, and he's going to set New York straight. But the problem is that not only is he rough and tough and gritty, and not only was he going to set New York straight, but he also has this really negative propensity in the Democrat Party for telling the truth. And the Democrats, they don't like when anybody tells the truth, especially one of their own. Speaking of truth, there is a truth in life that eventually you will feel pain. And for some people, when they get older, it's chronic pain. It's pain that doesn't go away. And your doctor is most likely going to prescribe you some kind of chemical drug, some kind of pill. The pharmaceutical companies, like I said, they're saying, hey, you know what? Here's some free samples. Give them out to your patients. Let's get them hooked on these drugs when they feel pain, and then we'll live flesh for the rest of our lives. But there's a better way to fix your pain. And there's a guy named Clint Winters. And Clint Winters is a medical scientist who came up with a brand new formula. They call it nature's morphine. It's called canalidine. It's all natural. It's a 100% drug-free way to get full body pain relief without dangerous pills. Canalidine has become really, for millions of Americans, the go-to pain reliever. Professional athletes use this because, they're getting tested all the time. They don't want chemicals in their body. They want natural substances. This is a natural substance. It's a compound, the only compound on earth that optimizes your body's natural painkillers, which are called endorphins. And I know you know what endorphins are. And canalidine is absolutely the future of pain relief. Clint Winters, if you listen to him speak, he'll tell you, this guy knows his stuff. He'll tell you exactly how he formulated it. He'll tell you exactly how he came up with this plan. He'll tell you everything you need to know about canalidine and how it can help you, especially if you're a chronic pain sufferer. Even if you're not a chronic pain sufferer, even if you just need pain relief. Now, here's the best part. There's a link in the description, or you can go to the website, trycono.com/Mark Kaye, MarkKaye. And for less than $1 per day, you can try it. Click on the link today. You can access the only Canalidine product in the world, less than $1 per day. This is a private link, trycono.com/MarkKaye, MarkKaye. Shortly after Eric Adams took office, shortly after he became mayor of New York, he looked around and he goes, man, all these illegal immigrants are a real problem for us. We don't have the money. We don't have the capacity. We don't have the assets to take care of these people. We're going to have to cut spending in all of these different areas, and it's not stopping, and the federal government's not stopping, and he's reaching out to the White House, and he's reaching out to Joe Biden. He's like, please, you have to shut down the border. Please stop sending us these illegal immigrants. And then he went to like a city meeting, a town hall, and somebody asked him about the migrants, and he made the unforgivable mistake, the career-ending mistake of telling the truth. And when you're a Democrat, that's the last thing you ever do.
Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian-speaking coming through Mexico. Now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City. And everyone is saying it's New York City's problem. Every community in this city is going to be impacted. We had a $12 billion deficit that we're going to have to cut. Every service in this city is going to be impacted. All of us.
And it's going to end New York. There's no end in sight. He goes, this is going to destroy New York City. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying that Eric Adams isn't corrupt. I'm not saying that he didn't do what the feds are accusing him of doing. I'm pretty sure he's probably guilty of, well, if not this charge, some other charge. I mean, he is a Democrat, for crying out loud. And this is how Washington, D.C. works. You know, and Madison Cawthorn, our good buddy, former congressman, he talked about it all the time. He would say, you show up somewhere, right? You show up in Washington, D.C., you're a freshman congressman or a freshman senator, whatever, and the first thing they do is they say, come on, we're going to a party. And you go to a party, and there's rich people there, and there's these hot women there, and the hot women come, and they go, oh, you're a congressman? Hoo-hoo-hoo. And they start dancing with you, and then you get a drink, and then all of a sudden you're feeling good, and the next thing you know, you wake up with one or two women or maybe some dudes or God knows where. You wake up, you don't know where you are, you don't know where your pants are, and somebody comes up to you the next day when you're walking into a committee meeting and they say, hey, you're voting no, right? And you go, no, I'm voting yeah. They go, no, you're voting no. And you go, why? And they say, because that girl that you woke up with last night, we know her. She works for us, and we've got photos and videos and DNA samples and all kinds of, we could basically just ruin your life right now. So you're voting no, right? That's how they control you. And that's been going on for decades. The Democrats, they hate Republicans, and they will do anything to stop and to ruin the career of Republicans and to take power away from Republicans. And if that means collecting dirt on their own people and using it against their own people, when those people become politically inconvenient, when they start, spouting the truth, then they have no problem taking out that big dagger and stabbing it right in the back of one of their own. They see it as evolution. They want to make sure that they are fulfilling their own destiny. It's self-preservation. Eric Adams is a weak link. Eric Adams, he had another press conference. He said this.
We're seeing the erosion of the quality of life that we've improved on in such a short period of time of this administration. And we have been impacted. For many months, we were able to keep the visualization of this crisis from hitting our streets, but we have reached a breaking point. We're no longer able to do that because of the volume in numbers. Just last week, we had 3,900 people that arrived here. We are averaging anywhere from 2,500 to close to 4,000 a week. And if you do the math, you see that's 8,000 every 2 weeks, potentially 16,000 a month that we must feed, clothe, house, educate children, and all the services that you would give a normal adult. And we're seeing that play out on our streets of New York. And that is what the breaking point looks like, what we are experiencing right now.
And keep in mind, look, they don't need any more Democrat voters in New York. They don't need Democrat voters in New York. So Eric Adams is saying, he may just be saying, look, stop sending them here. But they didn't. They kept sending them everywhere. And he's like, look, dude, we understand the plan. Kamala Harris just told us. Kamala Harris said the plan is to let these people come in and then make them citizens so that they can vote Democrat. That's why they're in Springfield, Ohio, which used to be a swing state. That's why you're seeing them in places like Colorado so that they can continue to their stranglehold on Colorado. That's why you're going to start seeing them in all of these states, Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and Michigan. They're going to be all, North Carolina is going to get a whole bunch of them. Georgia, Arizona, all of these places where they feel like there's just too many conservative voters, too many red state voters. New York isn't one of those. And Eric Adams is like, stop it. The quality of our life, of the Democrat voters' life here in New York is being compromised because of what you're doing. And the Democrats said, shut up, dude, or we're going to take you down. And he didn't do it. And so now they're charging him with corruption because he allegedly took money, illegal campaign contributions from Turkey, led by President Erdogan, and he built them a consulate or approved a consulate. And so now they're going to, which by the way, that's got to be minor corruption. You take money from Turkey and then you say, all right, I'll approve their consulate. That's not corruption. That's New York politics. That's Democrat politics. That's basically politics across the board. Somebody gives you money for your influence. Look at Joe Biden. Look at the big guy. Look at the 10%. Look at him calling his son's dinner party when he's sitting around with all of his friends from abroad. Look at Hunter Biden's WhatsApp messages to the Chinese saying, I'm here with my father. I'm here with my father. And then you get $2 million the next day. That's how it is. It's all influence peddling. So Eric Adams does what pretty much everyone does. And now the Democrats are using it against him because he spoke the truth. And that is an unforgivable thing to do when you're a Democrat.